one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from Lancaster Online. In December of 1997, a 16-year-old girl reported to police that a man raped her in an unknown hotel room after she left her mother's home in Lancaster City. This was in 1997. Nearly 30 years later, a Lancaster County jury found Roberto Rosario guilty of the crime, along with charges of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse by forcible compulsion and sexual assault. 46-year-old Rosario, formerly of York County and Carnarvon Township, will be sentenced after a background investigation is completed, likely within 3 months. The jury deliberated for more than 3 hours before finding Rosario guilty of the 3 charges on April 17th of this year. He's being held at Lancaster County Prison. Now, the girl identified Rosario from police photographs after she went to a hospital for a rape examination, but the case went nowhere because the Lancaster City police officer who investigated the crime raped the girl after befriending her and her mother. The cop did too. The former officer, Andrew Scott Selby, who's 56, formerly of Pequea Township, is serving 22 and a half to 57 years in state prison after a jury convicted him last June of raping the teenager and 2 other girls. The jury in Selby's trial agreed with prosecutors that he targeted young troubled girls while he was a police officer in the 1990s. While her initial complaint against Rosario went nowhere for 27 years, the now 44-year-old woman contacted police in March of 2024 to request his case record because she wanted to write an article about it. She is now a psychotherapist and addiction counselor. The woman initially didn't tell a Lancaster City police detective that Selby raped her, but did so after her husband told her to do so. Rosario and Selby were both charged in May of 2024. Rosario was just convicted. He'll be sentenced soon. And Selby's already serving 22 and a half to 57 years. But, people are going to question this. They're going to say, why did she wait so long? I don't know, and you don't know. But I kind of know why she didn't report it right away back then, because he was a cop. He was a cop, and he probably, I'm just guessing, this is, of course, a guess, but it's based on what we've seen and heard where cops say, I'm a cop, don't say anything, and nobody's going to believe you. Nobody's going to believe you because I'm a cop. They're going to say, oh, no, you're lying. And she's a young 16-year-old girl, so she probably was scared and thought, yeah, nobody's going to believe me. He's a cop. What are they going to say? Oh, a cop raped you? No. Police officer raped you? No. That's kind of probably what happened. I mean, that sounds reasonable, right? And that she was 16, she was scared, she was a young teenager. She had already been raped. Then this police officer befriends her, and she's thinking he's trying to help me. And then he rapes her, and she doesn't know what to do. But now he's serving 22 and a half to 57 years. I hope he does all 57 because he'll be dead by the time he gets out. They'll carry him over to the prison graveyard and throw him in the dirt. I know that sounds cold and unchristian, but you know what? The scripture says, live by the sword, die by the sword. You know? You live doing that. My feeling is, yeah, you can be forgiven, but you still need to be punished. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstepping my divine authority, but I just hope this guy spends the rest of his natural life behind those bars in that cage. And don't ever let him out. It's not just bad. It's not so bad that, it's so bad, but it's not the worst that he is a rapist and he was targeting young girls. It's even worse knowing he was a police officer doing that. I mean, it's bad enough. That's how I want to say it. It's bad enough that a guy does this to young girl. You need to, I'm trying to hold it in, right? But it's bad enough that a guy would do that. But a police officer, somebody they're supposed to go to when they need help and they're supposed to trust, and he's supposed to say, I will protect you. I'm here. No, he violates that trust. That's worse. Like as if it could get any worse. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know.